Hey everyone, today we're gonna play a new visual novel called Love, Death and Veggies. Probably got the reference. And today it's gonna be a fifth story. And this one will take us again to a future and sci-fi. And it will tell us a story of how two exes accidentally met on a distant planet. Hey again! Okay, let's go to a fifth story now, and this one's gonna be Here There Be Humans. Okay, interesting name. Is this about robots or something like that? Okay, this is definitely some sci-fi. Looks good. My scout is going crazy. My normally trouble-free devices are breaking down one by one. I don't even have time to fix one module before I get a warning about the new one failing. I grab a multi-tool and open the next panel. Okay. It's not my first year in long-range intelligence, but this has never happened to me or to any of the scouts I know. I haven't even heard rumors or myths about this. Okay, the search unit usually consists of young people. It's specially made so that young people would cool their air door and realize that space is not just about feats and adventures, but about boring and tedious work. Several years of dull routine kill any impulses to be a hero or break the rules. Only it seems that the scheme has failed. I came across something extraordinary. And these oddities weren't waiting for me on a distant, unknown planet, but on my own ship. It seems as if my scout was attacked by some invisible gremlins. Okay, I'm still confused what's going on, but I think the story actually seems promising. On the one hand, I was happy that the monotonous look-alike days are over, but on the other hand, I'm starting to fear that the scout will simply fall apart. I have to search for some planet to land the ship on, so I can start searching for the cause of this madness. Well, I like space. However, so far, I have only managed to eliminate the symptoms of this unknown disease, which threatened to destroy my ship and myself along with it. But suddenly it all ends. The last problem is fixed and the calm is silent. Well. What was that all about? Does anyone know? I'm out of ideas. Okay, is he alone here or is there someone else as well? Yes, after a month of being alone, I started occasionally talking to myself. Sometimes I don't even notice it. For cadets and young specialists, it's a sign of coolness to turn off the ship's chat body. The charter did not forbid this, but we were warned that a long time without communication with at least a computer could adversely affect the mental state of a lone pilot. Many probably gave up and turned on the interlocutor, but I was stubborn. Okay, yeah, he has this kind of vibe, I guess. And I don't know how to lie, I have to be honest. A colleague could ask me during my vacation how I managed to be alone, and I would answer honestly that I couldn't stand it and start talking to the computer. Or I'll start to crumple, which is guaranteed to give me away. I'm not a cool lone space wolf anymore, but simple cargo. I'd rather be patient. Right now, for example, I am distracting myself from my loneliness by keeping busy. I'm not up to talking, okay? Who am I arguing with then? We don't talk to ourselves, and we're okay, right? I'll take the silence as consent. There's so much work piled up. Okay, stop. Why is it so quiet all of a sudden? For a few moments, I intentionally clutch the multi-tool in my hand and stare at the virtual screen, but everything is intensely quiet. I could sit down in a chair, but instead I decide to take a break sitting on the ribbed floor, leaning against the wall. I close my eyes for a second and... Okay. Another warning sound wakes me up. Without opening my eyes, I start to fumble with my hand on the floor in search of a multi-tool. Only then do I notice that the signal has a different tone. It's not another malfunction this time. I open my eyes and stare at the comm. Mayday, mayday! To anyone who can hear me. Vika Zilona is speaking. Okay, I made an emergency landing on an uninhabited planet. The coordinates are included in the message. My ship needs urgent repairs. I'm asking for help. Mayday, mayday. Okay, her last name is funny. Her last name is actually just Saint Green. Then the message starts repeating itself. I give it few listens, watching my ex's face. Right. This just keeps getting weirder. So my former girlfriend had an accident somewhere nearby. What an incredible coincidence. I'd forgotten what a cutie she is. Why did we break up again? Probably long distance relationship. Well, what other miracles are in store? First the ship started acting up and now this. And they told me that long-range scout missions are boring routine. I can't wait to prove them wrong. The chances of such events are close to zero. It's never is zero though. Like literally, long-range recon, huge, unexplored space sectors, and incredible distances. It's like traveling at random into the African jungle and meeting a next-door neighbor there. Actually no, the probability of what is happening now is much lower. I can't even find a proper example, although I kept my position at long-range recon after our breakup. It's just that we started flying different ships, no longer being in the same crew. Wait, so they actually going in crews, not alone? Or like some of them are actually going alone, some are going in crews? It could be that we were lead to the same sector, but still, the distance is calculated in tens or even hundreds of light years. These are unexplored areas of space, not some country road. I do an express diagnostic, everything is functioning fine, and then enter the coordinates from the message. It's time for a reunion. Scout Neon Lukyanov is rushing to the rescue. Okay. There is no planet. It's a gas giant larger than Jupiter. There are several large satellites too, but the planetoid whose coordinates I've been given is nowhere to be found. No device can detect it. Except, I see it with my own eyes. My ship has already entered its orbit. I have to enter the data manually. The automatic system denies all of my inputs. It can't even detect the gravity of the planetoid. Okay, a new planet. But the orbit turns out to be stable, which almost causes the onboard computer to freeze. Thankfully, it started to treat the planet as an anomaly and decides to trust the pilot on the matter. Not like there are other options. The orbit is pretty stable after all, even if this can't be computed by artificial brains. To be honest, all this nonsense doesn't fit in my brain either, but Vika's somewhere on the surface. I've decided to let it slide for now and manually land on the surface. Then suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a planet appears. Well, so we're playing hide and seek. Giving up, are you? Of course, I spotted you already. The Navi computer finally sees it, analyzes the data given to it from all the ship sensors, and tries to take back control of the ship. No, my friend, I'd rather do it manually. You might suddenly go blind and deaf again. The ship AI is still disabled, but the control systems hear me perfectly and don't argue. All the arguments are in my favor. I quickly search for the emergency landing point of Vika's ship and head there. While the scout is landing, one thing sticks in my mind. All of this is so natural. It's actually awesome. Awesome. Cool, right, Neon? It's so cool. An uninhabited planet, a rescue mission. What if there is life here? Here they be tigers? Although I doubt there will be any tigers here. But there could be people instead. At least one of them is here. Vika. What if the local fauna is humanoid? An inhabited island, contact, rescue of the local population from... Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Judging by the sensors, the planet is absolutely lifeless. Only sand dunes and rocks, including practically terrestrial air. Why is that? There are no plants nor water reservoirs with algae, but the air is almost Earth-like. Although no, that's not correct. No foreign impurities are detected, so the composition of the air is similar to that of my scout ship. Well, I'm getting curious. Who could possibly install such equipment on such a faraway and uninhabited planet? Even the percentage and proportions are identical to a standard scout ship. Okay, is this actually not a planet but like artificially made giant ship that looks like a planet? Oddities keep coming. All of this is on an uninhabited planet. What if there is also life here? So much has already happened to me that all my colleagues will be jealous. And I'm also saving my ex, who for some reason doesn't respond to calls. I hope nothing happened to her. The thought makes me feel uneasy. Yes, we didn't get along very well, but we didn't hate each other either. Even if someone was my worst enemy, I could still risk my life to save them. But they're not my enemy, and that's why I'm worried. Vika, darling, just stay put. Help is already nearby. I lean on the afterburner so I won't collide with her ship with a gravity beam. I land 500 yards away from her scout ship. Once landed, I immediately rush to the airlock. On the run, I check my spacesuit. It's filled with energy to the brim. An emergency supply of air lasting a couple of hours is distributed in cells all over the entire surface. The converters are working perfectly. The suit can make a breathing mixture out of any kind of atmosphere, even a poisonous one. Wait, if he said like the atmosphere is similar to his spaceship, doesn't it mean that he should be able to breathe there? I mean, he obviously should first of all check it, but like there should be a possibility like that. And making a spacesuit look like everyday clothes is all the rage now. We're not a military organization, so we can even make our spacesuits look like pajamas. Vika's favorite ones are retro themed, for example. Okay, more precisely just the upper half, without underwear. Right, let's stop with the pleasant memories. Interesting. It's out of place right now. The airlock seems okay, so I can go out. The air outside the ship is identical to what's inside, but I probably shouldn't believe the sensors that didn't spot an entire planet a few minutes ago. Okay, yeah. That kinda answers my question, I guess. But he should test it. Okay. Welcome to Sahara. I jump out of the airlock and quickly look around. It really is a desert. There's sand, dunes, sand, and some boulders that look like cow patties. Not a very appetizing sight. At least not for those who've lived a farming life. That's a stupid comparison. I rush to Vika's ship, an exact replica of mine. Her scout ship is tilted slightly. Was that a crash landing? I must hurry. And yet, it feels so good to finally leave the crumpled cabin and go for a run on the surface of a planet, even an uninhabited one such as this. So spacious, so beautiful, especially these big moons, the neighboring planetoids of the giant planet. And then this pleasant wind in my face. Wait, what? Wind? Did I not turn on the helmet's force field? It can be. I look at the charge indicator. 0. Even the indicators do not work. Okay, what the hell? I hold my breath and turn around. It's too far. I can't reach it. But I was breathing before. The air is indeed the same as the ship's. The sensor didn't lie. So the strange planet has presented another surprise. I'm pretty sure it's not really a planet. Either the indicator is messed up, Or the energy keeps disappearing somewhere. Well, at least I'm alive. I can continue my rescue mission. Vika, here I come. What is that? In the corner of my eye, I spot movement. Something has changed, but what exactly? Same sand dunes, same boulders, although I remember this particular one being much farther from me before. Or am I mistaken? Nope, I saw it too. Okay, moving boulders. I continue moving, walking this time. There it is again. The nearest giant cow patty became much closer. Wait, is that some kind of local life form? Living silicon stones? I feel uneasy. After all, I'm in a non-working, practically useless spacesuit. I could consider myself naked, and now this? Just in case I freeze. Suddenly it reacts to my movement. No, it doesn't. The boulder comes real close to me. What should I do? Shall I make contact with the cow patty now? Does it even have some kind of mind? And if it does, I doubt we'll be able to communicate in some way. I have no idea how to talk to boulders. Dude, you talk to yourself. Just try it. My hand reaches out to the surface by itself, but I immediately pull it back. There is no protective field on my hands. You never know what. Oh, the stone sways and moves slightly towards me, as if stretching. Am I being sniffed? I'm feeling numb. Then slowly, I turn around, ready to run, and there is no time. I don't make it. I'm engulfed in darkness, and I cease to hear the wind and feel its warmth. Did I get eaten? Nice one, Neon. The rescue mission was successful. I'm sorry, honey. I couldn't help you. I hope you'll be able to repair the ship yourself and fly away from the strange and, as it seems, dangerous planet. May everything be fine with you. Surprise, surprise, she was probably eaten by the same boulder. I was prepared to die, but nothing changed. Almost. Suddenly, I feel someone else's presence. As if someone unbelievably huge is looking at me, seeing every bit of my body, even hearing my thoughts. Suddenly, there's some commotion going on around me. Or is it me moving? Is this the end? Are they going to? I squeeze my eyes shut. And then I open them when I feel a push. I plop on the sand and see the boulder deliberately moving away from me. Did it try to eat me, but I was not to his taste, and then I got spat out? Well, if you get eaten, you have two ways out at least. I don't want to think which one led me to the exit. Oh man. I jump up and want to cry joyfully. I'm alive! I'm alive! I wasn't eaten! But then I realize that it's too early for parties. I have no idea what filth I have on my body now, or even inside, and now I'll go infect Vika with it? No way, I'd better return back to the scout. Probably she went through the same thing. And I mean, I have a feeling that basically by eating him, this thing could read his mind, see if he's actually a good person and he won't harm the planet. My theory. I turn around and head to my ship to have a full medical test. I already violated so many paragraphs of the charter. I'll try to comply with this one at least. Okay, the medical equipment found nothing. Even the scent in my hair was sterile. If they ate me, they didn't chew on me or even drool on me. No organic or inorganic matter. Nothing at all. Well, let's pretend then that the boulder is some kind of local natural phenomenon and not a living being. It's not dangerous, and I can safely continue my rescue mission. Fake Neo, what? Whoa, 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 whoa. I was not expecting that. Where did I put the multi-tool? Hey Double, have you seen the tools? I jump back and get into a fighting stance. Right before me is me, an exact copy of myself. Here's the real alien contact. So the locals came out of their underground dungeons and took on my appearance to try talking to me. with my voice in my language. Okay. That is actually kinda interesting. Why are you so jumpy? Are you psycho or something? Fine, I'll try to find it myself. Let's see. The last malfunctioning unit was... Oh, here it is. The fake neon takes out my multi-tool from his clothes and heads for the airlock. Hey, where do you think you're going? The doppelganger turns around and looks at me like I'm some kind of fool. Say Vika, of course. I need to fix her ship. Don't touch anything here. Please? Okay. I'll make contact with your race a bit later, when I'm finished. My, you look exactly like me. Did you take my look for a reason? Nice move. And then fake neon disappears into the airlock, leaving my indignantly gulping air. Why he took me for an alien, more precisely for a local resident, and it turns out that he considers himself the real deal. What bullshit! Of course, I'm not the smartest guy in long-range recon, but there is no fool among us. Therefore, I immediately realized that the clone was created by the cow patty from before. It probably ate me, did some kind of research. I still remember that feeling of a sharp stare, and then spat me out. And then it made another copy of me. Why do I consider myself an original? Well, because I got scared and this happy clone even didn't flinch? So what? There is a copy of some kind. We'll talk later. I need to save Vika. Okay, who's the real one? Oh, that's right, Vika. I rush after him and catch up with the fake neon on the way to Vika's ship. I walk right next to him, deciding to talk a bit on the way. It feels a little bit creepy and weird talking to myself. Although, I'm pretty used to it. Yeah, dude, that's exactly what you were doing. Hey, what's your name? Neon Lukyanov, long-range recon pilot. Right, Why weren't you surprised when you saw me? Well, that thing made so many of you already. And you ones keep coming. I've already had enough scares. But I too got in a fighting stance back then. Haha, Karate Kid. It looks pretty ridiculous to be honest. Work on your stance, by the way. Wait, so there are many of them? And that's when the real horror hit me. So it turns out that I could be a clone. Well, yes, if we all have identical memories, then everyone remembers the same thing. How he was captured and then spat out of the boulder. And now he goes to Vika's rescue just like me. Then it turns out that no, I shouldn't think of that now. It won't take long to go crazy. There's also no point in talking to this guy either. He may turn out to be the original, but it doesn't matter right now. I follow the one who took over my multi-tool, or does it belong to him? I'm still a bit shaky, but I decide to pull myself together. There are so many miracles in the universe. We'll deal with it later. The main thing now is to get away from this planetoid fast. Together with Vika, of course. What if she's one of them too? Hey Neon, did Vika get out of her ship yet? Thank the stars, no. Otherwise, a crowd of her clones would be running around right now too. It's a nice sight, of course, but how am I going to find the real one later and save her? Yes, our thoughts are the same. You're the same person. I still have a chance to get ahead of my copies and save her. Maybe it really doesn't matter who I am, the original or a copy, if we are all identical. I would like to run tests on him. Suddenly, he is somehow different. Well, what kind of fun run is this? I follow my double's gaze. A whole crowd of fake neons is running straight at us. And a bit ahead is Vika trying to run away from them. So she got out of her scout ship. That's not good. Let's just hope she won't bump into the cloning patty. Oh, dang it. Probably she's like, oh, hey, Neon. Neons? What the hell? Okay, you go to her ship now, and I... Probably she's thinking that she got mad or something. Why are you being bossy, clone? Don't argue. There's no time for that now. You have a multi-tool, so it's up to you to fix her scout, and meanwhile, I'll take care of her. Those fools might have scared her. Perhaps you're right. I'll fix everything and find you two with the scout sensors. Okay, let's do it. And Fake Neon heads to the ship, and I'm left waiting for the approaching Vika. Seems like I'm a pretty reasonable and nice guy after all. At least it's easy to negotiate with me. I can't help but smile at this stupid thought. Okay, something fun is gonna happen. As the girl's running past, I join her and smile happily as I run. Hi honey, I'll follow you. I see you could use some help. Back off, you freak! I stumble and almost bury my nose in the sand. What a greeting! And I was going to save her. I want to help. What are you doing? They want to help too, all of them. Back off! Yeah, makes sense. And she quickens her pace. And where are you going in such a hurry? To my ship? Vika doesn't answer, but I take a closer look at my ship and suddenly see that several clones are already coming out of my scout. By the way, there are some waiting for you there too. Perhaps we should head another way, behind that dune? Vika doesn't answer but changes her direction. I follow her example. For some time we hide from the sight of the pursuers. Okay, what are we gonna do now? Get down, fast. I'm going to punch you. That's a great idea, but still, you'd better get down. I'll bury you in the sand. You won't be able to outrun them. They have more stamina. Okay, but you're just going to bury her in the sand? The girl throws a distrustful look at me, then looks to the side of the dune, from where the pursuers might appear at any time, and finally makes a decision. She drops onto the sand and starts burying herself in it. Well, I hope she will have some air at least. I get on my knees, press my chest to the ground, spread my arms and push off with my legs, pretending I'm some kind of bulldozer. Then again and again. That's it. It turns out to be a really nice mount. Finally, I brush some sand off her face, leaving only her mouth exposed so she can breathe. Okay, 3 of them. I jump back a few steps, fall on the ground and grab my crotch with my hands. Just in time. At that moment, a crowd of my doubles show up behind the dune. I start rolling on the ground, howling. It immediately attracts the attention of all the pursuers. What happened? Are you okay? Ah, she kicked so hard. So much pain in my balls. She went there, behind that dune. Just be careful, guys. Watch her legs. Okay, they bought it, I guess? The whole crowd rushes into the direction I've showed them, while covering their sensitive spot with their hands. It looks quite funny. Yeah, I bet. Only the last one slows down a little to give me a pitiful look. Do you need help? No, it's fine. I feel better already. It looks like it's not so bad. I'm going to the ship, to the sickbay. Okay, go to Vika Scout then. There are only few of us left there. It won't hurt to get extra help. Okay, so there are actually a couple of them that work on the ship. Then this Fake Neon joins the others. When he's out of sight, I quickly dig up the girl and help her up. She looks around in search for her saviors, and when she confirms they're gone, she finally calms down a little. Let's go hide behind that rock over there. That way they won't see us when they come back. What rock? One that can clone her? Okay, let's go. Just don't get too close. I clench my teeth, but don't say a word. She's so mean. Well, now, you didn't say why you actually broke up. We're sitting behind the rock, catching our breath and looking at each other. She with alertness, I with resentment. The rock remained stable, didn't try to sniff us, but I warned Vika about it anyway. Don't look at me like that, I'm the real one, at least I think so. And they think they are the real ones, so stay away from me. Silly, I want to help. They want to help too, I told you. Even if you're real, it's all your fault. You got into this mess, spent clones. Do you know how scared I was when you staggered into the scout with several copies? I can't argue with that, I got into this mess, that's right. Right into a big mess of cow patty that now continues to clone me. It's amazing how Vika found the right words for it. Yes, you're right. I got into a mess. You've always been careless, irresponsible, stupid, obnoxious. I just want to disappear. Right into thin air just so I can't hear her ridiculous accusations. Finally, I remember why we broke up. I just couldn't stand it anymore. I couldn't hold it in and raised my voice at Vika. Okay, stop. That's enough. I got tired of it back then, when we were part of a team on a ship. I won't put up with your insults anymore. If you don't want to be with me, go on, stay here. Let the others save you. I'm leaving. I start to get up, but Vika grabs my arm, pulls me down, and even moves closer to me. I sit down on the sand again. You are the real deal. What? You're real. You decided to leave me. And these? They keep running after me, trying to help. Please, save me. They wouldn't do that. I wonder why they behave like this. And who are they anyway? I'm afraid it's really my fault. You see, when I was eaten, I thought I was dying. My last thought was the regret of not being able to help you, to save you. Perhaps that's why it turned to be out so important in the heads of the copies. Oh, that's so romantic. Your last thought was about me. Wait, what? You were eaten? Wow. So she realized that I was in danger too and didn't fixate on something that flattered her. It's such a nice change, damn it. I look at my ex, but for some reason my gaze falls on her slender legs. Okay. Again, that reminds me of the fact that she's completely naked under her spacesuit. So now she's... Vika turns restless, getting herself more comfy. That makes me hot and I hastily turn away. I briefly tell her everything that had happened to me up to that point, starting with the series of malfunctions in the scout and ending with the current awkward moment. Awkward for me. Vika, as usual, was not embarrassed by anything. It turns out that exactly the same thing happened to her, and she, too, decided to land on the planet to carry out repairs in relative safety, on the surface and not in outer space. Okay, so... Interesting. Well, it looks like the breakdowns were caused remotely to lure us here. When you landed, my breakdown stopped. My scout didn't even see the planet. Because I was no longer needed. You were already on the planet. When you didn't get out of the ship, the planet stopped hiding from me, so I just came out. I wonder why this planet needs us. When that body swallowed me, I felt as if something analyzed me, every cell of my body, every thought, every wish. Clearly it wasn't some simple boulder. I was being studied by someone huge, a whole mountain or even a whole planet. Living planet? Vika shivers and looks at me, a little scared. It's just you and your stupid fantasies. You made all those things up because you were frightened. Perhaps I did, but if this planet is intelligent, then it would probably want to have some kind of living things. Something at least a little intelligent. People, for example. I suspect that even the air in the atmosphere was copied from what was in your scout, so that people can live here. Why does the planet need people? Hardly for food. It produces us itself. More precisely, you. Wait, what? Maybe it's just lonely, this planet. Imagine that you are flying through the cosmic void completely alone. There is no one for hundreds of light years with whom you could... Enough, stop it. I immediately fall silent and cast a surprised look at the girl. She looks more scared now than the time she was running from my clones. What's gotten into her? I'm afraid of loneliness. I didn't tell anyone about it. You're the first. When you left me... But you're the one who kicked me out. It was as if she hadn't heard me. Am I talking too quietly? When you left, our crewmates told me something at the spaceport bar. You know, they like to tell horror stories, myths. I don't know what it's called. So one day I heard the story about the black astronaut. I grinned but decided not to comment on anything. Let her speak, as long as she doesn't nag me more. He was an ordinary astronaut, only his spacesuit was completely black. So black that when he got detached from the ship during the repair of sensors, no one noticed him against the background of black space. He didn't have time to fix the sensors, and his partner didn't notice him. A black dot against the background of cosmic darkness, so he flew into space, doomed to certain death. Since then, he appears near those who come out. Stop it! It sounds so childish that it's hard for me to hold back my laughter. The girl glares at me with angry eyes and turns away resentfully. Wait, so she's being serious? It can't be. Sorry, so what are you afraid of? Loneliness? Then why did you join Solo Scout mission? Vika huffs and decides to give me the silent treatment for a while. After enough time passes, she decides to forgive me and finally continue her tale. I wanted to get rid of the sphere. Well, you know, fighting fire with fire. Damn it doesn't work that way. I have a friend who is afraid of heights. To get rid of his fear, he started parachuting. But with each jump, it kept getting scarier for him. How should I know? But you're right, I'd rather not be left alone in the ship. As you can see, my spacesuit isn't black, but even so, I would hardly be noticed in the background of space. And what's the worst case scenario? Have you ever heard of all the sensors failing at once? It's impossible. Actually, it is possible. I landed here manually. Not one sensor was working at the time. Yes, you're right. This planet is something else. But this is an exception to the rule. It won't happen again. You have nothing to be afraid of. Still, you'd better stick with your crewmates. I hate to know that you're suffering from something. Vika squints at me, frowning, and suddenly she smiles. Her face smooths out, which makes me feel good. As if I took a stimulation pack. Thanks, Neon. And I thought you were mad at me for something after you broke up with me. What makes her think that I was the one who broke up with her? It was quite the opposite. Or does she just want to find an excuse to make me guilty and make herself a victim? But why? To take revenge on me? No, it makes no sense. Normal people don't. Actually, it's me who should be mad at you. It's you who are doing everything wrong, and I suffer because of it. How dare you accuse me of anything at all? It's my fault, you say? But it was you who crashed. Wait, what? Because I was alone. And I was alone because you were unbearable. So I'm to blame for everything? Even if I'm not around? If I'm hundreds of light years away? Well, of course, you could have asked for forgiveness instead of trying to blame me. That's how you've always been. Irresponsible, insensitive, selfish. I turn away and try not to listen to my ex's nonsense. I want to disappear again. Though where would I go? If there are only two of us on the planet, we should stick together. The clones don't count. Perhaps they will disappear the same way as they appeared. I, on the other hand, can't disappear so easily. Without finishing my thought, I grab my axe and push her with all my strength. The anger on her face is replaced by surprise before she slams into the rock and dissolves into it. Now she's probably inside and this weird planet is analyzing her. Why did you do that? I close my eyes and prepare to wait. A few seconds later, someone approaches me from behind and pats me on the shoulder. Are you okay? Didn't you tell me that you're going to the ship? Yes, but first I have to check one theory. What theory? Are you completely crazy? Psycho! I was devoured by this thing. Now my copies will start appearing. You idiot! Do you want my clones to flood everything here too? I keep sitting quietly under the rock and can't help but smile. Vika isn't yelling at me. All the blame is directed at the poor fellow that decided to help me. Yeah, I can relate. He probably wants to disappear now. Just dissolve, cease to exist, become poof. A flash, a pop, and fake neon disappears. I even envy him a little. I always wanted to disappear so I won't have to listen to my ex's nagging anymore. Except now she switches to me. What the hell happened to him? Did he just explode? You should warn me about this kind of stuff. Why are you grinning anyway? Is this your doing? But of course, who else? You got into some mess again, right? I turn around and walk towards the ship. Vika follows me, without stopping to put blame on me for all that is happening right now. Out of the corner of my eye, I see as the new copies of Vika catch up with fake neons and start to nag them. It lasts until they explode with a flash. Still, they are so lucky. Poof! Gone. No one nags you anymore. But I can't hide from her, even by traveling thousands of light years away. Angry Vika, still muttering, follows me into my scout ship. Okay, I get it. Your clones can disappear at any moment, and my clones, because of my last thought, have received a desire to tell you everything I think about those who feed me to aliens. And yours are so stupid they realize that disappearing is their only option. Wow, how cleverly she turned everything around. I'm so unbearable that the clones self-destruct. Sound insulting, but your clones can handle mine. It even gives her some credit. Such nice clones she has. Okay. Interesting relationship, I guess. As Vika and I are taking off together, she was afraid to go to her scout. We watch our doppelgangers pop one after another, as if they were soap bubbles. My guess turned out to be correct. My intuition is working. Aren't you the clever one? I didn't get it at first. And it worked, like a charm. Wait, why did you think that my clones would gonna disappear too? You're afraid of loneliness. Without fake neons, fake Vikas will cease to exist too. Yes, I told you. Wait a second, why would they be lonely if there are lots of my clones left? We could have inhabited the whole planet. I don't think they would have gotten along very well. Why is that? For the same reason that fake neon self-destructed. You're just unbearable. Vika stops for a moment and then takes a very deep breath just so she can pour another sea of accusation on me. Again? God, have some mercy. I throw up my hands in despair and clench my fists. What a pity that I turned out to be the original after all. And I can't just disappear like my clones. Those lucky bastards. I wonder if the one that is here right now is the real Vika or it's just her copy. No, let the scientists sort it out. And according to the rules, I will tell about our contact while on approach to the long-range scout peripheral base. Then they'll get me to the quarantine zone and I'll get a few weeks of quiet and loneliness. So she's still mad at me because I broke up with her. More precisely, she broke up with me. But that's female logic. If she broke up with you, it's your fault. You couldn't stop her. So that means it was you who broke up with her and it's still your fault. Okay, when we take a little break from each other in the quarantine, when she forgets about my actions, which by the way saved us, I will repaint her spacesuit black and tell her not to be afraid to wear it. After all, I will always be close. The end. Okay. So was it like he began to accept her as she is and he's okay with her now? And he still wants to be together with her? Because he said that he still will be close. I guess? Well, that was an interesting story. Not sure if I like this one the best, but it was pretty cool. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Next one's gonna be the last one, and it's gonna be the Veggies, which I'm not sure what I think about it right now, but we'll see. So I hope you enjoyed, take care and see you next time.